Hey guys, it's Shannon from iHeartRadio Canada, joined by Nikki Yanofsky. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Good. How has your whole pandemic been?
Honestly, um, so far so good. I think there's been highs and lows like everybody. Like thankfully I have my health, everything's okay. And yeah, just really focusing on like continuing to make music and doing whatever I can to like benefit myself in this time, like become better as a person. So
Yeah, I know. I feel like it's a lot about like self-care and stuff. People are really taking that opportunity. But it's got to be
yeah.
weird for you to be releasing a new album while in like a pandemic, right?
Yeah, it's definitely uncharted territory for sure. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of interesting because it's like usually when you release an album, you get to go and you tour it, or you do like actual real life interviews, and you have that connection with people. But now the only way that people can really connect to it is through the music itself. So I think it'll be interesting to see the kind of the reaction just based on that, because I'm not really able to do anything in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what's so nice too. I feel like because music is such a connector between people, so that's so nice that you're able to like give that as a gift to other people.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it's weird. I would love to be able to perform my new songs live, but I guess that will have to wait. And hopefully it'll give people a chance to get to know the music a bit before I go and do that. So
Yeah, totally. And Loner, I feel like is a perfect example of like a quarantine song. That's so perfect. Do you
it
have
was,
a song written and made before all of this happened? Yeah.
yeah, that was what was so hilarious about it. It's like I kind of wrote like a quarantine anthem by accident, just based on like my personal experience. Because I'm just, like, honestly, on a good day, even before all this stuff happened, I don't love going out so much. Like I'm talkative, but I like I'm a bit more introverted. Like I don't like to, I don't know, socialize as much. I say like I'm like really sneaky, like old lady inside, really.
Oh yeah. Are you one of those people that like if you go to a party, you'll just like sneak out and not even say goodbye to people? You just go?
Yeah, like I say bye to the host usually, but to be honest, I don't really go to many parties. I'm the person at the party that's like on the floor with the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way to be. Dogs beat people every time. So I get that. That's crazy. Okay, so Turn Down the Sound is the name of your album, but that wasn't always the title of it. You changed it. Why did you change it?
Honestly, it was my first choice for
Mhm.
the album title, because that song was written by, well, I co-wrote it with my mentor, Rod Temperton. And Rod, if you are unfamiliar, well, for sure know his music. Maybe you don't know his name, but Rod wrote Thriller. He wrote Off the Wall, Rock With You, Burn This Disco Out. He wrote like every Michael Jackson's greatest hit, honestly. And also so many songs for Heatwave, like Boogie Nights, Groove Line. He's just, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest songwriters, especially in like funk, R&B, soul, to ever live. And he really kind of taught me everything I know about writing. And unfortunately, he passed away in 2016. And this was my first project that I made without bouncing my ideas off of him, because he, up until this point, really coached me through writing and really helped me a lot and supported me along the way. So this was the last song we co-wrote together, Turn Down the Sound was. And I always wanted it to be the album name, but at first I had some like pushback from people on my team, like, oh, it's kind of like troll bait. It's like, people are like, yeah, if they don't like it, turn down the sound of this album. And I kind of went along with it. I was like, okay, I kind of know what you mean. But then I asked myself, like, do I want to be the type of person who doesn't do something that I feel passionate about and like honor someone that I love for the sake of like worrying about how people are going to react to it? Or do I want to actually, act on my gut and like honor someone that I love very much and that meant a lot to me? And considering that this album really represents like independence to me and like really turning down the sound, pun intended, of like negative thoughts and other people's opinions, I just thought it would be hypocritical to not name the album that, after that being kind of like the whole theme interwoven throughout the whole record. So yeah, I changed back to it and I'm really happy I did. I love it.
I'm glad you did too. I feel like especially if your heart is so much attached to it, then that's a perfect decision to make. And I know Quincy Jones has been like a mentor of yours too.
Yeah.
How did you two originally get connected back in the day?
A really funny story, actually. Like I started out singing mostly like, I started singing like soul, like Motown, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder. And then I got really into jazz, particularly Ella Fitzgerald and Dinah Washington, two artists of which that like Quincy really worked with a lot and produced a lot of music for and arranged a lot of music for. So I was like 13, 14 years old singing Quincy's arrangements. And through a mutual friend, I honestly, like, I don't even know how it happened. We just sort of got linked up, and I mean, Quincy gets a lot of emails and calls about people, young people who are like into like, I don't know, music. And I don't know, I guess he's kind of particular with who he like chooses to meet with, but I guess something about what I was doing caught his ear and like he agreed to meet with me. And yeah, I was like 14 years old and went to his house and he heard me sing Lullaby Birdland. And I don't know, we just from there, we always like stayed in touch. And yeah, he's just been so supportive and great to me my whole career. Honestly, he's such an amazing man.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can't believe that. Yeah, 14 years old. But also when you were so young too, you were like the face of Canada in the Olympics. So you performing at the Olympic ceremony. So do you just like go into the rest of your life being like, I can do anything because you've worked with Quincy, you've done all these things? Like, I feel like I would just be so confident the rest of my life.
You'd think so, but you know, real life definitely gets the best of everybody. I've had my ups and my downs like everybody. There's definitely been times where like, you know, like imposter syndrome comes in where you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe like I'm fooling everyone. I'm not really that great. And then, you know, I definitely have those days. And then I have days where I'm like, no, you know what? I got this. And like, I'm confident. But it's interesting because I used to kind of run away from those feelings. And then I realized that like, it's very normal to feel that way. And I just have that reflected in my music now. So like this whole album is like, for sure the most honest I've ever been with my writing. And like, I touch on a lot of those things and a lot of those feelings and just like kind of figuring out who I want to be, what I want to say. Cause there's definitely benefits to starting out so young. You know, you get like one foot in the door, you have all these amazing opportunities come your way and you can grow from them. But then also like, you have a hard time changing in the spotlight because it's like, everybody's telling you to do one thing or, you know, and then you have the business people telling you, oh, you should sing like only jazz and like, you know, release like an all standards album. And then you have people that you love and respect like Quincy and Rod who are like, no, decategorize music, do what you love, do what you want to do. And you sort of have to figure out what you want to say in between all that. So yeah, I don't know. I think there's kind of both sides to it.
So is that difficult to navigate then if like you have all these people like giving you influence, but then you kind of have to like sort through it and figure out what you want to do?
It was a challenge. I mean, it was definitely a battle that I faced my whole life. I mean, that's why this album is, I was saying, it's like my proudest achievement to date because I feel like it's the first time, honestly, I could honestly say that I'm not doing, I didn't write this, I didn't record it, I didn't produce it with anyone, any audience in mind, anything in mind to be like, oh, I need a hit, I need to have like a song that's going to get on the radio. Like it wasn't driven by that. It was driven by like authentic love and for the music. And making something that I felt really reflected what I wanted to say and who I am and what I want to sound like. So it was like, I feel like it's a big milestone for me because in a way, like I love everything I've done in my career up to this point. Like I think that, you know, I'm very proud of my achievements and my music in the past and everything, but I definitely feel like I've tapped into who I really am and what I want to say and what I'm going to continue to be like going forward.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like the best thing that you can do is like be your authentic self, right? So if that's exactly what you're doing, then you'll thrive. How does it feel for you to be coming out with an album after 6 years? Is it just bizarre?
Yeah, I mean, like I had like a few singles and stuff in between, but it's really, wow, it's been like 6 years. I thought it was less than that. You know, sometimes it takes a while to figure out what you want to say. But, you know, I think that it was worth the wait. And it definitely won't be that long in between this one and the next one, because I feel like I'm on a good trajectory now. I'm just like, okay, I found it. Keep going, you know?
That's awesome. That's so cool. Okay, so July 10th is when the album is coming out. So excited to hear it, Nikki. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for speaking to me. It was nice meeting you.
Oh, super nice meeting you.